Hi church, it's Pastor Tony here. Just wanting to give you a bit of an update on where things are at in light of the most recent easing of restrictions that have just come out from our state government. I don't know about you, but when I heard them, I feel a sense of excitement building, and I am getting excited. But I'm also aware that I need to be careful about getting too excited because there's a lot of detail in the restrictions that are still in place. Even though they've been eased, there's a lot of detail to be worked through, to be understood, and to be applied in the way we go forward. That's really encouraging news. So we are getting closer to being able to gather and all that. And we've already had lots of questions coming in by email, even some phone calls. What does this mean? When can we start? And so on. But as the restrictions have been gradually easing over time, we also realise that we need to gradually move forward also as the restrictions are eased, which means we want to be prayerful, we want to be well prepared in terms of things that we need to think through and have in place. And so we're going to have to we still need to be patient in stepping things forward. There are a few key things that we have to address in whatever we do and whatever we restart. There's a whole new safe church realm that's come into place with COVID-19. If you've been into the church building, you will notice that there's a sheet of paper that you have to sign in on so that we know who's been here in case people need to be contacted. There's hand sanitizer that you need to use and so on. And with anything restarting up, there's going to be these kinds of things and other protocols that will need to be in place, that we'll need to do so that we can gather and do our ministry, whatever it is that we're involved in. Then, of course, there's the issue of food. What does that mean? What does that look like going forward? Any ministries that have food in any way, shape or form. Once we perhaps can gather again as a church on a Sunday, what about morning tea? What's that look like? So we've got to work through those sorts of things. Then, of course, there's still the ongoing need for social distancing. Yes, it's been reduced to 2 square metres per person from 4, but it's still 2 square metres per person that we have to allow for in every room and every part of the building, and the 1.5 metres social distancing is still in place. So these are the kinds of things that we need to work through and step through in working towards reopening anything or relaunching any ministries. In terms of our Sunday gatherings, we can now have 100 people in any given room. We can have 300 people overall in any particular facility, but you can only have 100 people in any given room, and you've got to provide 2 square metres per person, 1.5 metres social distancing. So that means in our auditorium we can only have 100 people at this stage, and then working that through all our other rooms and all our other Sunday ministries. For our midweek ministries, many of them are going to be much less than 100, and so we may actually begin to be able to work towards relaunching and reopening some of them. But again, we have to work through the details of the protocols, and are there any extra training that we're going to need to provide for our leaders so that they can be confident about how they're going about what they're doing, extra support for them, and so on. So these are some of the things that have to be ticked off before we can gradually move forward. So what's next for now? Well, work through the detail. That's what we've got to do. We've got to work through the detail, which means we're going to be getting advice from the Baptist Union of Western Australia. We have been all along, and they've been great. They continue to send out regular updates, particularly when there's changes. And we're waiting on one of those just now, given a lot of the recent changes. We've got an elders meeting tonight. That's Tuesday night. This is going to be number 1 on our agenda tonight. And we'll be working through some of these things. We have a deacons meeting next week, so the whole leadership community will be involved in thinking through the implications of where we're at. And then the staff and ministry leaders and so on, that will need to be part of the process as well in reopening or relaunching any of our current ministries. So, what do we want to encourage you to do? We want to encourage you to be prayerful for wisdom for us, for wisdom for our church as we step forward gradually and carefully and thoughtfully. We want to be prepared as a church to make sure we do this well for the glory of God, for the good of those that we're serving, as we honour God in our community. And also we're going to need to be patient. You kind of you get really excited when these restrictions are eased, and then you realise, oh, hang on a minute, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. So we just need to be patient. We've had to be patient all along. It's a good thing. God is at work in amongst all our kind of waiting, and so that's okay. So that's where we're at the moment. Obviously, good news on the weekend, but lots to work through, and we're going to be busy working through that in the next few days. As soon as we can provide more information, as soon as we can provide clarity for those who want to get going again in different areas, we will certainly be doing that. So yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you're having a good day and a good week ahead. The Lord bless you and your family, and this week. Stay tuned this week for Comfort on the Couch, and then we'll be continuing obviously Corinthians on Sunday. God bless you all. See you soon.